Welcome to the best gambling show on the internet. This is the home of the money pick. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe. We're at week 10. I'm ready for it. And tonight is the last night in this studio. If you call it a studio, it will be the last night. It will be the last recorded show in this studio. I got my YouTube page up in the background, but I don't think it can show. I got a new camera ready, new studio ready. I will be getting on a flight on Saturday, so I won't be available. This will be a quicker show. This will be a 1-hour show, but I'm going to get through all your questions. We're going to get this money week 10. I'm really looking forward to it. We got a bet up on Patreon tonight for soccer. The NFL bets will be up on Patreon 10 Eastern tonight. I look forward to another big week. We've been eating all year. Like everyone who's gambling, this year has been chaotic. There's been lots of upsets, but normally we're on the right side of that. And I think we'll continue to be. I think this last 6 weeks is where we'll make most of our money. And that's not me being braggadocious. That's not me trying to sell you guys to used car. That's just me speaking of what's happened in the past. I always feel like I get hottest week 10 to week 17. And hey, we got an extra week 18 coming this year. So that can only help us. That only means more dollar signs. And let's do it. Let's do it. And yes, Russell America Wilson is back this week against Green Bay. But I like Green Bay in that game. So I don't want to do too long an intro. Let's get to the Patreon questions. Then we're going to get to the YouTube questions. Not sure about a guest today because we only got 1 hour. I want to make sure I get through everyone's questions. So let me get to the Patreon questions. Let's start here. Actually, I want to say hi to some of you guys. What's up, Tasha? What's up, Tasha? What's up? What's up, Mr. Sanchez? No basketball. Betting basketball is very, very tough. There was a guy posting basketball bets on the Patreon, but he lost his last 3. So I don't know if you want to go with him. What's up, Dan? What's up, Dan? You were a subscriber since last year. I appreciate all of you guys. Romeo Robinson, thank you for that Dolphins pick. Anytime, man. Anytime. I'm happy you had the gumption, you had the cojones to put that in because you could probably tell during the whole week I really wanted to put that bet in. Even though it's the Dolphins, even though it's Thursday night. So this is Dominic. What's up, Dom? J Money, I got to get with you this weekend. Let's get this money. Let's get this money, Dom. What's up, Mike? What's up, Cowboy? What's up, Cowboy? What's up, Brian? Dirty Sanchez, my guy. Dirty Sanchez, what's up? Shannon Spicer. Shannon says, do you like the 17 plus on the teasers? No, not really. I don't think we need to do that. I mean, I like the plus 10 more than some people, but I feel like our plus 7 that we've been utilizing the last 2 years is the best. But each and every person has their own preference. Like if you're trying to build a mega teaser with 10, 11 teams, I wouldn't suggest it. I'm not a big parlay guy like that. If you're trying to build a mega teaser, yeah, the plus 17 makes more sense. But if you're trying to build a 3 or 4 team one, nah, I think that's going to be small. Rob Thomas, you still on Cleveland? Yeah, I do like Cleveland. The Chubb stuff really isn't phasing me. It didn't phase me last time I put the Browns on as a bet. They didn't play the last time I bet the Browns. Last time I bet the Browns was against the Broncos on Thursday night with Case Keenum. Okay, I'm going to get to the Patreon questions. Appreciate you guys. Make sure you smash that like button when you come in. So here are the Patreon questions. Let me reload this and I'm going to get to them. I'm straight roughing it with the Diet Coke 2-liter. Okay, let's get to the first question we got. Dove 10-565. Can you please make a video for us Americans how soccer leagues work? It's so hard to understand. Okay, I don't want to go too down the weeds with soccer. I imagine this is because I posted a soccer bet tonight. Okay, let me try to explain it. Normally in a soccer league, although some leagues are different, every league is different, but normally in a soccer league, it's a 8, 9, 10, 11-month season and there's no playoffs. So that's the first thing you need to remember. And a lot of my bets on Patreon for soccer, I use the point spread in soccer, the Asian handicap. And you guys can look into that. I did a video on the Asian handicap already. It's rather hard to explain, but if you understand NFL point spreads, you won't have a problem. Okay, Jeff Jabroni. Hey, bro, glad to be back and looking forward to hitting the boards again. What's up, Jeff? What's up, Jeff? And make sure you send me a message on Instagram, Jeff. Hit me up on there if I forget to send you the pics, because I know you were having an issue with Patreon. I appreciate the generous donation, Jeff. Really appreciate it, my guy. Okay, let's get to these Patreon questions. Let's get to come on, man. Patreon, I do love Patreon, and Patreon does help me out a lot. My goodness, sometimes their website's clunky. Gary Amato, I heard your comment that someone threatened you over a bet. Tell me what kind of idiot would do that. A big one. Yeah, so sometimes on Instagram, people do get a little bit off kilter. And, that's normal. And most people are really cool. But honestly, I feel bad enough if a bet doesn't hit. But this bet even ended up hitting, and the guy was still mad about it. And I didn't really understand it. It wasn't even like I had the Jacksonville Jags as a money pick. I would love to claim that Jags upset in my mantle. I would love to claim that scalp and put it in the box. But there was no scalp to be had. I just said I like the Jags plus 14.5. And some people think that's the most controversial thing. But in this league, those spreads tend to hit more often than not. And you guys notice that sometimes I am a little bit cautious to even bet favorites when I love them, when the spread's more than 8, 9, 10. That's when it gets dangerous, like that Pittsburgh against Detroit one. Like, I think Pittsburgh's going to roll in that game. I think the upset talk for Detroit is just kind of lame. I feel like it's forced. I feel like it's more a reaction to some of the upsets we've been seeing in this league more than what's happening on the field. But I'll tell you what, even the Steelers -8 is extremely dangerous. Extremely dangerous. So that's where I'm at, man. Lauren, what's up? What's up, Lauren? I haven't seen you in a while. I hope everything went good with your traveling and all that. Steven Rosby, I'm here. Didn't listen to Miami. You were 100% right, John. Steve, it's not anything to beat yourself up over, but I felt like this station has had the best read of the Ravens all year. We bet them in Denver when everyone bet against them. We knew the Colts were going to cover that +7. We've had a good read on Baltimore. The Bengals were a money pick on Patreon. And it's not because I don't think the Baltimore Ravens are a good team. I think people are going to panic, and I think people, we're going to probably roll with whoever Baltimore plays next game. I mean, because I think that type of game against Miami will swift the spreads. But I'll tell you what, man, we've had the right read on Baltimore the whole year. And I wasn't one bit shocked. What I was shocked about was Miami's ability to win that game, but also Brian Flores finally did something this whole year. And I was screaming into this camera, asking for Brian Flores to show us some of that magic, send a few zone blitzes, get aggressive, get up in people's face. And that's what they did the whole game. And people want to ask me how NFL was like in the 80s, early 90s, because they know I watch a lot of film. That Dolphins defense they were playing last night, that shit was normal in the late 80s, early 90s. That bear front, send 6, send 7, hell, send 8 if you need to. I mean, that used to be rather common in the NFL, and you don't see it that often. And I was happy to see Brian Flores do it. It looked like the 86 Bears. I'm not trying to get dramatic and say the Dolphins are the 86 Bears. I just liked that type of football. Even though it was an ugly, low-scoring game, I actually felt like that was a fun game to watch just because of the Dolphins' defense. Adrian, Lions plus 8.5. Not a big fan of it. Not a big fan of it. The fundamentals say to do that, but I wouldn't. Okay, here we go. We're going to get to the Lions game now. Josh Belay. Hey, John, do you think there's any chance the Lions can pull off any upset Personally, I think Najee is the X factor in this game against a poor, banged up Lions D. But I've seen a lot of people calling for the upset. Appreciate all your work, man. Let's get paid. Josh, this is a good question, and I'm sure this is going to be one of the big questions of the week. Everyone's getting rather excited about Detroit this week, and I need to come in here and I need to tell you guys, stay the hell away from it. If you're pumping Detroit plus 8.5 because of fundamentals, that's fine. I'm not going to argue you. I'm not going to get on you. But if you're thinking Detroit has a chance to win this game, I think some of that talk is absolutely crazy. It really is. And because, like you said, my problem with Detroit isn't Jared Goff, isn't how unathletic they are, it isn't their trash receiving core. It's because they can't stop the run on defense, and they haven't stopped it all year, and you can pound them. And did I mention they're not athletic? I mean, this team is just slow at every position, and at a certain point, we know the Steelers aren't what they were, and we've had a great read on the Steelers all year. We have the Bears when no one had the Bears. But this is the week. The Steelers, if you could work that Steelers one down to -4, -5, I think the Steelers -8 is honestly a better pick than Detroit +8 if we're looking at this game. And I think there's another question later on in Patreon trying to hype up the Lions a little bit and using the bye week as an argument. Like, here's what we need to understand about the bye week. It's not 2010, it's not 1990 anymore. The bye week doesn't mean anything. If anything, I actually see the bye week hurting performances. And let's be real about one thing. The bye week, you can't even come to team facilities. No one even practices. Back in the day, you would get like a 4 or 5 day vacation, and then you're back in there Thursday, Friday, double sessions preparing for next week. Nothing is getting refined during the bye week, and I don't understand why. And we know why, because the NFLPA rules don't let anyone practice. So I don't see the Lions getting much better after the bye week. And what is there to really get better? Like, at least if the Eagles get a bye week, at least if the Raiders get a bye week, at least if the Jags get the bye week, we can say, okay, this thing might get better. This might be good for Lawrence. There's just none of that with Detroit. This thing is getting better and getting worse, and it's getting worse really, really fast. Detroit has had a good performance since they played Minnesota, and that was almost a month ago. So it's rather risky. I feel like some of us are just hoping Detroit plays good this week when we should either A, stay away from the game, or B, bet against them. I understand 8 is a lot against a non-explosive Pittsburgh team. The fundamentals are there, but Dan Campbell and Jared Goff aren't there. They're just not good enough. Okay, let's get to another Patreon question. Thank you guys. Hit the like button, share the videos. When you come in this live stream, hit the like buttons. YouTube is cramping me a little bit with the algorithm. Share it with your friends. Keep helping a brother out. Nick R. Hey, Lawson, do you think the Rams win this week or San Fran with the upset? Nick, I like the Rams. I'll tell you one thing, though. You guys know me. I like my flash. I like my big personalities, but I'm also old school when it comes to football. I didn't like this Odell Beckham acquisition from the Rams. I don't think it helps. I don't even think it moves the needle. If I had to pick a position for the Rams, I would have did what they did last week. Just get Von Miller, maybe add another piece, get a nickel cornerback cheap, and then build and build and build. I don't know if Odell Beckham's going to help the Rams. He won't make a difference this game. I think the Rams win in the cover. Now, the 49ers are due for a good performance, and the 49ers have been one of the most disappointing teams the last 2.5, 3 years in this league. I was just thinking about it and reflecting upon it the other day, just how bad they've been since that Super Bowl appearance. And I don't know if it's a Shanahan issue. We know Garoppolo is a problem. Garoppolo's a huge problem on that team. I don't think they make enough plays. But that +4 for San Fran is tricky. But if we're talking about Rams coming in, taking care of business, I think they will. And I think they will respond. And last week, I did tell you guys, I was nervous about the Rams. Not because I think McVay or Stafford are going to fade as this year goes on, but I felt nervous against the Titans due to the fact that the Rams just haven't played anyone good in a long time. The Titans were the first decent team they played in a month. Like, we're talking like Houston, and you don't get tested against Davis Mills in this league. Cash Money, what's up? Picked the Dolphins last night. Yeah, I mean, I was happy. I led some people in the right direction that way. I think at the very minimum, I saved money because I know a lot of my subscribers' instincts were to bet the Ravens last night. So I think I did save some people some money with the Dolphin stuff. And sometimes saving money is better than making money in this game. Brian Nasto. Hey, John, just spreading the love. Let's get it. Let's get it, Brian. Let's get this money. Big week coming up. Patreon NFL bets will be posted 10 o'clock tonight. 10 o'clock tonight. This is from John. He's just giving out a tip. Bet money line +225 Panama to beat Honduras World Cup qualifying match. I didn't like that one. But he actually did lay out a good argument about it. So I wanted to just throw that out there to you guys. I did post a soccer bet on Patreon to bet tonight, but it's not that game. This is from Eldad Ronan. Hey, John, what's up, my man? Who would you say has a better chance for a straight-up moneyline upset this week between Jets, Bills, Jags, Colts, Lions, Steelers? Jags. Jets do have some things to build upon. I not like the Jags, but at least they got a little something. But I think the Bills are going to come in Freddy mode, Jason mode, mask off, just come in, get real ruthless with the Jets, get up in them, get physical, hit Mike White a ton, and eventually the Bills are going to start throwing that ball down the field. So I don't like that one. Jags Colts is the one. Lions Steelers, I'm not feeling the Lions this week. The big reason why I'm not feeling the Lions is because they can't stop the run. But let's get the Jags Colts. Jags are what? +10.5 right now. You're going straight upset, but whatever. We can talk about the game. The Jags are getting better on offense. Now, it doesn't look like it due to the drop passes and the penalties, but they are getting better on offense. And if Laviska Shenault can just hang on to a ball, this Jags team will stay on the field on offense. And you saw what this defense can do if they play without penalties. The reason why the Jags lost to the Seahawks with Geno Smith wasn't because the Seahawks are better, not because Lawrence played bad. It was because the penalties on both sides of the ball. The Colts are a team that are explosive. The Colts don't have a dominant defense. Lawrence is taking care of this ball better. I would have to say the Jags Colts in that list. All of them are pretty much long shots. This is from Mike 87. One sec. This is from Mike 87. Hey, John, I think you've officially talked me off the Detroit moneyline ledge, but do you really think +9 or teasing a +15 is that bad a bet? No, it isn't that bad a bet. But why, you guys know I love going this direction. For instance, +7, I like making it +14. I would rather make something +14 than a pick 'em, but sometimes you have to go the other direction. And why not make Pitt a -1? There is a lot pointing to a Steelers letdown. I get it completely, but the Lions aren't the team to exploit what Pittsburgh does bad. And that is the whole point. And I think at this point, we're actually seeing a better Steelers offense. The Steelers offense was atrocious the first 4 weeks, but they're actually getting better. Lauren with the super chat. Thank you, Lauren. Remember to bet Saints as dogs, not favorites. Tannehill has been sacked 27 times. Only quarterback sacked more is Fields. Saints D will prevail. That is some food for thought. the Saints have been buttering our bread, so to speak, this year. So you never want to go against the Saints. That is some food for thought. This is from Nikisha Flores. 68% of the money is on the Lions. So I'm going to say Steelers -9. Yeah, and we go against Joe Public a lot. And that sometimes is for the best. I don't like breaking those down too much, but we do go against Joe Public quite a bit. And I think that's one reason why this station is more successful than others. Thank you, Simon, for the donation. What's up, man? You were a subscriber from way back in the day, man. Way back in the day. Follow me on Instagram, man. I haven't seen you in a while. The only way I can really keep track of any of you guys is if you follow me on Instagram. So, yeah, true. Here we go. Let's get to this is from Brendan. John, you are a gangster. I'm making the Browns as a college fund bet this week. You down with that? Say yes to make me feel better. I wouldn't say college fund, but what I will say is this is working in our favor. I've been thinking about this game all day. I am cautious about the Patriots. And we have to put my Patriots. I don't hate the Patriots. I've always liked when Brady was there, and I always respected them. I just didn't like the roster Bill Belichick put around Brady those last 2 seasons. And I don't like any of the Patriots' last 3 or 4 drafts. This last recent draft is the first useful draft they've had in 5 years. So I think the Browns have more talent. I don't think it's a college fun game, but I absolutely love the Browns. I haven't changed my mind yet, and I'm doing stuff to try to change my mind. Like I watched the Chargers Patriots game again. Of course, there are you do want to see Nick Chubb out there, right? I mean, we all want to see Nick Chubb come running out there. But my question to you guys is, how much do you think that's worth? When we talk about the Browns, I always try to start with something no one talks about. They have the best offensive line in the league. That's not sexy. That doesn't sell magazine covers, but that covers spreads. Last week, I was kind of on an island. I didn't bet it due to what Cincinnati's done for us, but I was pretty confident with the Browns in a similar situation. I'm not sure the Patriots are really that much better than the Bengals. Now, Foxborough is a very difficult place to play. Foxborough is no joke, and you have to put respect on any game you play there because every game is difficult. Every game is a dogfight. But I think the Browns run the rock better. And there's a lot of talk about Mac from Alabama, and I love what the kid is doing. The kid has verb, the kid has confidence, but he's not making all that many chunk plays. And the receiving core is still the receiving core. Kendrick Byrne gets you excited, then that's fine, but it doesn't get me excited. I don't think I don't think the Patriots run the rock all that well. I think the Browns come out with a game plan like the Saints did. Now, the Browns don't have the defense of the Saints, but one thing the Browns do have is a very good front 4, front 7. So that's where we're at. Yeah, Jacoby Myers. What's on Asian handicap? I don't understand. But go if you need Asian handicap explained, check it out. I didn't post an Asian handicap bet. The soccer one is just a straight up win. Simon's Chief Kingdom. Thanks for winning me thousands. $20 donation. Thank you, sir. Very generous of you. Very, very generous. This is from Simon for $10. Who's going to land OBJ? Rams did. I didn't like the Rams getting OBJ. I think it will help in the playoffs. And I like the way the Rams structured the contract. I don't know if you guys saw how the contract was structured, but I really think the Rams made a shark-type move. But in a way, this is kind of a shark-type move from Odell Beckham too, because he's not going to put up great stats. defense. And there's just too many other dogs in that receiving core. Cooper Kupp might be the best receiver in this league right now. It's scary to say it. The stat guys will tell you Cooper Kupp's the best receiver in this league. I wouldn't say it, but he's playing some damn good football. Eventually, we have to give him credit. Here we go. I'm going to get to the other Patreon questions. Let's get to them. This is from, okay, let me get back in rhythm with the questions. This is from Jack Thorne. Hey, John, wish we were neighbors. You're the best. Thank you, Jack. And you guys, I make sure I work hard for you guys every week, and I hope we keep winning this money. I hope we keep doing well, man. I see a big finish to the season. And I come on here and I call my shots. I remember 3 weeks ago, I told you this is the biggest week of the season and we're going to make money. We went 4-1 that week on bets. So I just feel things heating up for us. And I don't think anyone's going to be able to stop us this last 8 weeks of the regular season. The playoffs are a whole different battle. The playoffs are a different type of battle. Really, the only thing that killed me in terms of gambling last year was the playoffs, believe it or not. So let's get to this. Let's get to these Patreon questions. Here's from Dove again. Hey, John, I just think the Lions are better than plus 15. Okay. Hey, John, I just think that Lions plus 15 is better than Steelers minus 2. Yeah, I could agree with you there. Yeah, I agree with you there, but I'm telling you, I think the Steelers come out and I think they lay a slap in Detroit's mouth. And I've watched 6 full and complete Detroit games this year. I'm not trying to say, oh, I watched them, I know more about Detroit than you. There's not much to learn when you watch them. But I am telling you, I am extremely concerned about Detroit's run defense. And I shouldn't be, because they have so many problems on the team. They have a terrible quarterback, terrible offense, can't block anyone, can't cover anyone. They don't even have guys on defense who can run. But my main worry is them stopping the run. You see why you can't bet Detroit. You see why it is a risk. And I don't want you going home sad if Detroit loses by 17 or 20 points that game, and then you lose your teaser, you lose your knot based on Detroit. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, a teaser applies protection. There is nothing protective about the Detroit Lions. I mean, that's why we do teasers. I just want to be protected. I want to feel comfy. I want to roll up in a blanket and watch the bet hit. I don't want to be sweating, waiting for Jared Goff to try to get a garbage time field goal to save my weekend. It's the last thing I want. That's the last thing. These games are stressful as it is. We made the perfect pick. Bears plus 6.5 on Monday night against the Steelers. The perfect pick. And you saw how that barely even covered. And you want me to put money on Detroit and have me go through that stress? I'm joking at this point. That's what makes us better than other people, because we bet all 32 teams. No, I don't want to watch Detroit. No, I don't want to watch film of Detroit against Philly. But we got to watch these teams. If there was something coming, you guys know I would get positive. Sometimes I do get positive about bad teams. I just don't see what there is to be positive about. Like DeAndre Swift's good, but what else is there to get positive about? Yeah, man. About the Gronk thing, that I am a little bit worried about Gronk and Antonio Brown's injuries now. I am. What's up, Cowboys R1? I'm concerned about Dallas as well. I am very concerned about Dallas. What's up, Jamie Ack Glover? What's up, my man? What's up, Nikisha? Focus Sports, the Hound. The Hound is very, very cool guy. He is a cool guy. Erica Santana is too. She's cool. Mike Maloney. Yeah, I mean, Heinz Field's crazy. Heinz Field is absolute craziness. But I used to have the Steelers on the no bet list, like how I put Tennessee on the no bet list 2 years ago. Here's was the number one rule I made once I started recording gambling podcast on the internet. The number one rule was don't bet any Steelers game that's prime time. That was the first rule, and that's always one you want to stick to. Because the Steelers, people don't realize it, but the Cowboys have a ton of fans. The Patriots have a ton of fans due to the Brady era. But the Steelers and Raiders might have the biggest fan bases in the country. Raiders, not so much in terms of national TV due to Eastern time. But I'll tell you what, the Steelers games, there's always funky stuff. I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I don't think the NFL is fixed. But I'll tell you what, I've seen some crazy, crazy things in Steelers primetime games in my life, y'all. What's up, Erica? What's up, Villa Vegas? Hail Mary parlay. Well, what's a Hail Mary parlay to you? Hail Mary to me is putting 10 G's on a parlay. That's something I would never do. Raiders. Yeah, man. I'm curious to see what the Raiders are doing this week. That was one reason why I wanted to come on here, because we got a lot of Raiders fans. We got a lot of West Coast people. I actually think most of the people who watch the show are from the West Coast. I did do a poll on Instagram before. It is. It's gonna. Yeah. It's the worst place to kick in the league. And I've heard people use other arguments for worst place to kick in the league, but I think Heinz Field is. That'd be crazy, man. That's like betting on Detroit, dude. You guys don't want me to have a heart attack. I want to be back for 2022. I don't want to have to hang up the microphone and what would it better hang up? Don't want to hang up the parlay ticket or whatever we would hang up. You know, the athlete hangs up the cleats, you know, or the rapper hangs up the microphone. You know, yeah, most people are. I'm from Colorado, Blaze Towns fan. Appreciate it, bro. Colorado, beautiful state, man. Went there once. Beautiful, man. Beautiful place. Yeah, West Coast. Lauren Kaiser, Lawson, I like your mini to cover. You want to come out here and try to explain that? Let me get through the Patreon questions, but I don't know about mini this week, but I'll let me finish these Patreon questions and I'm going to interact with YouTube. You guys are always going hard in the chat. Johnny Gonzalez. Yo, John, I know you were leaning towards KC, but it doesn't feel like Las Vegas would be the safer play. I don't know, man. Is there any safe plays when a game is between two teams who need it back? No, I get what you're saying, Johnny, though. KC won, but didn't look good against Jordan Love and the Packers. 100% correct. To me, they still haven't showed us they can win a game confidently. You're correct. And I know the Raiders are inconsistent, but I feel like they have more fight and will to win than KC. I personally think the wrong team is favored here. What's your analysis on the game? Okay, that was a good comment, man. I like KC, and you're 100% right. That game last week against Jordan Love and the Packers was concerning. I saw Pat Mahomes play quarterback like Teddy Bridgewater used to play for my Minnesota Vikings. Except, Teddy Bridgewater had Adrian Peterson or Dalvin Cook to hand it off to, and the Chiefs don't really have a running game. It's concerning. But I want to actually talk football here when we talk about Henry Ruggs. We can talk about what happened in that incident all we want. We can talk about its effect on the locker room. I'm just pushing that up, putting that in a box. I'm not even thinking about that. What I am thinking about is this team is desperately missing Henry Ruggs, and they need a dog on the outside who can run. There's only so much Waller can do, and we're starting to see teams figure out this Raiders run game a little bit. And the Chiefs defense desperately needed to play well. But honestly, your comment did give me cause for pause because I'm because I have been leaning with the Chiefs all week, and I will go with the Chiefs. I'm not going to change the pick, but I don't think it's the money pick I thought it was. And we'll have to see the injury report. I'm still waiting for that Friday injury report to come out. There's some things I'm watching. That's why the Patreon pits are later in the night, because I got to see the injury reports. And Renfro is nice. Renfro's really nice. They just need a dog, though. They need someone on the outside who can run and get deep. I don't see that on how the roster is currently constructed. And I've been telling you guys all year, and I never wavered on Carr. I've been wrong about some quarterbacks, but I don't think I've been wrong about Carr. And I'll tell you what, man, when Carr is able to play action and he's rolling to the right, anything with play action, Carr's absolutely knifing up this league. Waller, Renfro, you just needed Henry Ruggs. Henry Ruggs isn't a big time player. He's not a top 15 receiver, but he plays a specific role very few men in this league can do. Why do you think the Bengals drafted John Ross in the top 10? Because he was good at football? No, because he can supplement that role. Now, some of these guys, they can't play when they get on the field with that elite speed, but Henry Ruggs can. And I don't think Henry Ruggs as a football player missing on the Raiders has been covered enough. And that Giants game is concerning. I did watch that film. Some games you just have to throw out and you just have to move on to next week. And we have to understand that this is a war. It's not a battle. You can lose a battle and still win the war. We get it. And sometimes you can't dwell on bad games, especially West to East Coast. But this Chiefs team, you guys think they're not going out without a haymaker? Jordan Love sucks. And I told you he would play like that. And that's why I did make a 6-figure, not a 6-figure, a 5-figure bet on the Chiefs on the money line. Hope all of you guys did that on Patreon last week. I rarely post money lines, but that was money on the table I couldn't let you guys not grab. I understand that you guys probably didn't like putting 800 to get 400 or 380 back, but it's free money that can fund your other bets, your other avenues. Yeah. So that's where I'm at with the Raiders, and I think the Chiefs are going to have a better response than people think. And the Chiefs are missing a wide receiver. I was kind of surprised they weren't in that old Al Beckham mix. And you know, Sammy Watkins is no crown jewel, but you're seeing how much they're just missing that deep threat. And you want to know what? Sammy Watkins is a little bit better than Henry Ruggs. But guys like that are really valuable to teams. And that's why you see an old guy like John Brown still getting jobs on the Bills, Raiders, when he really hasn't been good in 3 years, but he can just do one specific thing. Same with Ted Ginn. How do you think Ted Ginn stayed so long in this league? He was good in punt returning and kick returning, but also he can just run straight and the quarterback can throw it deep. Sometimes we don't need to overthink this game. Sometimes this game is simpler. Pound it, and then play action with Carr to the fast guy on the outside, because they're going to be working Waller underneath. You know Carr and Waller are going to eat against the Chiefs as long as Waller's healthy. You never really know with him. But you're just missing that extra piece, that fulcrum to set everything in motion. I don't feel like the Raiders are built for where they're going. And Raiders fans, we got a lot of you guys on here, so let me just talk to you right now. Yes, we've won a lot of money with the Raiders the past 2.5, 3 years. It's been a good ride, but we're at a different time of the Raiders now, where they need to be in the playoffs this year. There's no excuses. With the way Carr's been playing, look around this league at some of the quarterback play. With the way Carr's been playing, there should be no reason, especially in a weak AFC, that the Raiders don't make the playoffs. Yet they did what they did last year. They go lose to a terrible New York Giants team in the Meadowlands, like they did against the Jets. Remember when they lost that one in the black hole against the Titans? They need to prepare for where they're going, and they need a little bit of extra magic on offense. The Raiders' defense is better than it was before, but it hasn't taken that step to be a top 10 defense or a very good defense. It's above average, and that's fine, but you got to give Carr some soldiers to work with. Let's get it. Oh, thank you. Australia. What's up, Ben Dixon? What's up, Ben Dixon? Thank you, guys. I'm working through the Patreon questions. Ash G, let's go. Can't wait for the teaser. Ash, we will hit the teaser this week. We will. We will. Gina Spencer, John Lawson, please recommend a good 3-team parlay. Gina, I do post the 4-team teaser on Patreon. Check that out and take which game you don't like. And we're going to hit it this week. It will be posted later Saturday because of traveling, and I want to make sure it's perfect. The outright bets will be posted tonight, 10 o'clock, 10:30 Eastern, sometimes a little bit earlier. You guys know the drill. This is from Kyle. What's up, Kyle? Hey, John, I'm doing a 10K bet this week and seeing this is the only lock. Tampa Bay money line. I like it. Cardinals money line. While I know the payout isn't even money, the last 2 weeks have been wild. I don't see these two teams adding to the craziness. Well, I'll tell you what, if Cam Newton goes out there, no, he's not going out there, and he doesn't have enough time to practice. I want to get excited, but I can't poke holes into that. Well, that's what we did last year on Patreon. Last year, people got mad, but there was a 5-week period where I would just post Tampa Bay money line every week because that's what I was doing. And I was working that in to fund other more riskier bets. And that's always a good option, but you can also get bit too. You can always get bit, but I've never gotten bit on Patreon. You can go check out every bet, every NFL bet I've posted the last 2 years on there. I've never gotten bit on a money line like that. When I post a money line, it's gold. Those look pretty gold, but that Washington team does have a good defensive line. I'm just trying to poke holes in it. But I agree with it, man. And some weeks when it gets really crazy, sometimes you got to just limit yourself to 2 to 3 bets and keep swinging on for next week. Thanks, Turk. I mean, I love football, and I love talking to you guys. So, like, yeah, so I don't even need to fake it. People think sometimes I fake it. Like I act like I'm on wrestling. No, I just get really excited about football. I've been excited about NFL since I was 5 years old. Just all, yeah, man. I just love this sport. And honestly, the Instagram, man, has been really cool. I'm not a big social media guy. It's not really my milieu. It's not something I like to do. But honestly, I'm liking Instagram because we get to talk. You guys like send me funny stuff. It's actually good. I am actually enjoying a social media app for the first time in my life. So knock on wood, knock on wood, knock on wood. But yeah, if that's how awesome you guys are. If I'm actually able to enjoy being on Instagram, if I'm on Instagram more than like 5 minutes a day, that's a credit to you guys. So appreciate it. Yes, sir. CSA straight up tonight. Brazil Serie B. I don't want to give a free one away for the non-Patreon people, but I'm sure you guys won't mind. I'm not making it a big bet. I'm just going CSA to beat Confiance in the Brazil Serie B. Yeah. A lot of people say I should get on Twitter, but I don't know. I like sending voice messages. When you guys send me messages, 9 out of 10 times I respond in a voice message. Rudy, where is Marty? Any college picks? I didn't talk to Marty this week, but let me give him a text next week and we'll see if he'll give us a Thursday night college pick. Those are normally when his money picks are. He likes betting the CUSA and the American Conference, that type shit. Oh, Steven, thank you for your generosity, my guy. Thank you for your generosity. It's all good. It's all good, bro. It's all good. You're my guy, man. Okay, let's finish up the Patreon questions. Then I'm going to go to the YouTube questions. Liking everyone's energy tonight. Feeling a good week coming up. Robert Johnson, why do all home teams play on Monday night, cover on Sunday? Because the rest isn't as big a deal as people make it out to be. I think that's the main reason why. Kevin Thomas, every time I bet against the hoodie, I get killed. Yeah, betting against the Patriots has been a mixed bag this year. Last year it was Oasis, it was fun. This year, I'm 50-50 on Patriots games. So I do think maybe I have a little bit of a bias against them, but I also think the Patriots are going to fade. But let me tell you one thing. This Patriots team, they really aren't playing all that good, but Bill Belichick is pulling out these games, and I do think the Patriots end up falling, but we have to remember something. This AFC as a whole, this whole AFC as a whole is extremely weak, and it's really wide open. Yes, you guys probably didn't want to hear the 4-minute monologue about the Raiders, but honestly, if you're the Raiders, if you're the Chargers, if you're the Bills, hell, if you're the Patriots, you should feel like, man, I got a fighter shot in the AFC playoffs. Even if you're Baltimore, even if you're the Browns or the Bengals, all of those teams probably feel like they got a puncher's chance to get to the Lombardi game. I mean, and are you going to tell me they aren't? Are you going to tell me Bengals on the road to the Bills AFC Championship is a slam dunk for the Bills? I want it. A lot of crazy things can happen. Patriots against the Bills first round, possibly. And you know, of course, you would favor the Bills in those games, but you're going to tell me they want to get punched out? And let's say you get the Chiefs against the Patriots wild card weekend. You see how that AFC is wide open. It's wide open. And that's why I was surprised to see Odell Beckham go to the NFC. Bobby, Pats will be back in the Super Bowl in the next few years. They did rejuvenate their roster, but they didn't make it any younger, bro. That's the thing. They pretty much did do a rebuild. They just used above average veteran players, and they got a rookie quarterback from Alabama. What other real exciting young players do they got? Maybe I'm missing something, but that's an old team, bro. Yeah, I like look at the Panthers' average age compared with the Patriots' average age. Yeah, hit that like button. Hit that like button. Thank you, guys. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. Is that a 2-liter baller move? Yeah, man, we're 2 liters. Styrofoam here. Okay, let me just double check Patreon's questions. Okay. Okay, someone had a question about life in this. Let's see. Oh, okay. Caveman Luke says, "Yo, John, Browns plus 0.5 halftime spread." I don't like that one, but can I tell you a halftime spread I do like? I'm not a big halftime guy. I won't be posting it on Patreon. You guys know the first half spreads. So someone sent me an interesting one on Instagram. Like, this is a reason why. Like, I'm not trying to hype you guys up. I honestly like being on Instagram because you guys don't talk about nonsense. So it's actually pretty good, man. So someone sent me on Instagram, Lawson, what do you think about Jags plus 7.5 against the Colts first half? That would be one I'm more likely to pull the bet on them Browns Pats. You know what I'm saying? I like that one if we had to choose a first half one. Browns plus 1.5, not in love with it. Although I do think they should be leading going into the second half. Can you come on and explain? Can someone come on and explain how my Vikings will beat the Chargers? Because I want to hear this. I mean, it could happen. 1 second. Amor, eu estou gravando meu vídeo. Porque isso eu liguei. Eu preciso terminar gravando. Te amo. So let me make sure. Let's get to the YouTube questions. Let's get to the YouTube questions. I do want to get someone to come on and tell me like how the Vikings are going to beat the Chargers. As a Vikings fan, I don't see it happening. I just don't see it happening. It was the same thing with Baltimore. We've been hitting Baltimore all year. Whenever a team is +5, +6, +7 against Baltimore, we bet them. And we've been winning that way. Colts, Bengals are 2 money picks, just listing a few. And the Vikings were what, +6.5, +6 on the road to Baltimore. And there's a reason none of us wanted to do it because we know how inconsistent this Vikings team is. And yeah, man, it's hard for me to get too optimistic about them the way they play. If it's not one thing, it's another thing with them. Okay. What were you speaking, Lawson? Portuguese? Yes, I am. I'm close to fluent. Like I said, new studio. You will see where I'm at. I'm excited for it, man, and it's going to be good for the channel. I think it's going to be good for viewers. People don't like seeing. Oh, Lauren. All right, Lauren, I got you. Thank you, thank you. Let me get you on here. I want to hear why this is going to happen. I got to hear this, man. Okay. Yeah, Lauren always comes on here and she goes pretty hard. She always got some good opinions. Um, let's see. Okay, she sent me an email. Where's it at? Oh, I see. I see. Let's get it. Let's get it. All right, Lauren, I sent it. Um, okay, here we go. Austin joined Patreon. Thank you. Emil joined Patreon. Thank you, my guy. Chris joined Patreon. Thank you, my guy. Stan joined Patreon. Cody Jones joined Patreon. I appreciate it. Tyler Richardson joined Patreon. I appreciate it. Pedro Cruz, Gina Spencer, Craig, Donald E. Hinton joined Patreon. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you for supporting the show. It really helps. Izzy, and Robert, I will unblock you on Instagram and Patreon. I did see your comment this week. I accept the apology. No hard feelings. Um, no hard feelings, my guy. I will do that after I get off. If I forget, I'll make sure I do it this weekend. Jamiette Glover, Chargers 1-13 winning margin. Minnesota keep it close. I get it. But once Lauren comes on, I'll tell you some of the stuff I've been seeing out of the Vikings. There's some details of that Baltimore game that should really scare some of you guys. And Lauren, did you get it? Let me see. Okay. I'm pretty sure she got it. Okay. So, yeah. So, what do you guys think about the Green Bay Seattle game? Anyone got a strong read on that? Yeah, no rush. I got plenty of other questions. I'm gonna get to. Yeah, and here's the thing about the Packers. I don't know about you guys, but let me tell you what I'm seeing. The thing that is shocking me from the Packers this year is they actually have a really good pass rush. They don't do anything outstanding on the edge pass rush. They don't have a great speed rusher like that. But have you guys noticed how good their interior rush is with Rashawn Gary? Like they make it very uncomfortable to stand in that pocket. And also they know how to keep scrambling quarterbacks in the pocket. I think Russell America Wilson coming back from that injury, he's going to be a little bit rusty. I don't think he plays all that well. And I don't like the Seahawks team. Really, the Green Bay Seahawks game is rather simple to me. And I don't like making things simple in this league. But if Aaron the Game Rodgers plays, if he passes that COVID test on Saturday, I think the Packers run in here and I think they run through the Seahawks, man. And the Seahawks have been a vulnerable team all year. And they are a team we can exploit because people still think they're good. And at this point, the Seahawks are average. I don't know if they're even better than my Minnesota Vikings. My Vikings beat them, for example. So I just think the Packers are playing focused and they're playing good. Now, the Packers are overrated in a wide variety of ways, and we can go on list all day. I said it last year, 2 years ago. The Packers have the same problems. But in this game, man, the Packers defense has actually raised their game this year. And it's one thing I was surprised about. The Packers defense always does good with stats. You know, they get to play the Lions twice a year. They get to play the Bears twice a year. The stats always come out good. And then in the playoffs, you see them get absolutely dismantled and discombobulated. I don't think we're going to see that this year. And I don't think Seattle runs the ball against Green Bay. I think Green Bay is able to run that ball a little bit against Seattle's front seven. Seattle's defense is playing better, but come on now. Are we going to get excited about that? I'm not. I don't know if you guys are. But Seattle's defense playing a little bit better, but I think the Packers throw it better than the Seahawks, and I think they run it better. And the only concern this game is if the stuff Aaron Rodgers has been facing in the media, if it's destroyed him. Exactly. This is what my dad was even saying back to last year. Pete Carroll is one guy who is getting by on name and reputation a little bit. And that's why Russell gave the list of the 4 teams he wanted to go to during the offseason. I think he sees the writing on the wall. You guys can go check on the internet, but from what I read today, Ray, Rodgers, he's like a 95% chance to play, and it seems like Russell America Wilson is 100% go. I don't know if you guys heard anything. These Friday injury reports are always late. Let's get it. 37 degrees, 30% chance of rain. I'm not sure who that even favors, though. What's up, Lauren? How you been?
Hey, I'm good. How are you?
I'm really good. Like so we might as well just get right in. Are you back in Florida or New York?
I am. I'm back in Florida. I've actually been to several places since I last saw everybody. I've been to New York. I've been to Biloxi. I was in a poker tournament there. I had to go home to New York for a funeral. And now I'm back here in Florida. So yeah, I've been everywhere.
Yeah, it probably feels good to get back in that Florida heat. Yeah, right.
Yeah, no, it rained 48 hours straight the first 2 days I was in New York. Literally.
It always does. Listen, it rains more where in our region where we are from in New York than it does in Seattle.
Oh God, it was horrible. Like I literally was at my aunt's house and we were going to the basement to pick up a card table and some chairs. We had some company coming over. I got down there. I said, my socks are wet. Oh my God, there's water down here. I was like, I'm not used to having a basement. I haven't had a basement in 12 years. So I was like, oh, forgot how this works.
Yeah. So we might as well get to that first game. Why do you think the Vikings are going to beat or cover that spread?
Did not say beat.
Okay.
Though it could be on my upset list. You know, I am the biggest Justin Herbert fan out there. You know, him and Josh Allen are like my 2 Drew Breeses reincarnated. You know what I mean? More Kyler Murray is because he's like the same size as Drew. But you know, I love this kid. I just can't help of think sometimes the inexperience will let you down. And hey, James, I think sometimes the inexperience will let you down. And these Minnesota Vikings, they're one of my least favorite teams. Let me just start by saying that. So this pains me to say this. And Coach Zimmer, whoever your boy is over there, he's not one of my favorite people. But Dalvin Cook, Jefferson's been heating it up lately. Everyone seems to have forgotten about Thielen. He's heating up. Kirk Cousins is not having a bad year. And if it wasn't for the fourth quarter, almost like the river in poker, if it wasn't for the river, I'd have won. If it wasn't for the fourth quarter, they would have won. So they hang around games. They're kind of like Philly, you know? They they hang around. And sometimes I feel like this Chargers team gets winded, but you know what I mean? So I could be wrong, but I feel like with the points, I feel like it might be a 1 or 2 point game. Just my opinion.
Yeah. Here's the thing with Minnesota. You're 100% right. And I think Minnesota just hangs in games just because of pure talent. But I'll give you something that really pisses me off about Kirk Cousins. So they start the game against Baltimore. Dalvin Cook's running it really well.
So good.
So they're able to do play action. Like Jefferson gets a 50-yard pass for a touchdown. You don't see Jefferson catch another pass until the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Thielen caught a touchdown in the fourth quarter. He was at 2 catches for 9 yards. So that's my issue, and it's not them. They win battles. They destroy everyone up against them because they just do so many different things, and it's tough for a defense to counteract. But I'm telling you, the Vikings find ways to win, and I don't like this Vikings defense. I'm worried about the athleticism in the secondary. I'm really worried about it against the Chargers. You're right. The fundamentals, like if we just weren't going off of some of the stuff we've been seeing, yes, I would say the Vikings could win this game. Last time they were in the Chargers in a similar situation, I think it was 2 years ago, they won this game, but they're a lot worse now. I'll tell you what.
Yeah, and you know, and I just think the talent that surrounds Minnesota is just sick. I mean, between Thielen and Jefferson and Delvin and even Madison, you know what I mean? Like the people that they've got, and even their new tight end that came out of nowhere. I know he was hurt in the beginning of the year. I don't know if he's back, or I think he might be out for the season. But they've even had this Conklin kid coming in.
Good, man.
Yeah, there's so much talent on this team that it's almost a shame that what their record is. You know, because they find ways to lose. I just feel like the second half of the season, sometimes those find way to lose teams start to steal games from the teams that are, you know, starting to turn themselves into.
Let me ask you a question, because you like to dance into psychology a little bit too. Speaking of teams that collapse, the Raiders have been collapsing, but no one really got on them too much the last 2 years for collapsing because no one thought they'd be good. Yeah. But the Chargers are a team that's always due for a collapse. I really like the way they beat Philly. Like it wasn't pretty, but I like the way they covered that spread at the end and just sucked the life and clock out. I really
time that they did the time management well. Like I don't know if you remember last year, what was it? Aaron Jones I forgot who they were playing. He sat down at the goal line instead of scoring, so that I forgot who they were playing, but so that they didn't leave, so they used up the time so that, you know, Crosby could come in and kick instead of them scoring and giving the ball back. I can't remember who they were playing, but you know, it's things like that, you know, you have to look at. And I'm totally on you with Cleveland. I just hope it doesn't turn into a sucker bet, but I've already bet it. So
listen, and with the Cleveland one, I'm not going to try to second guess, third guess myself. Sometimes you got to just go with what you see. And let's talk about that game for a second.
Yeah.
Because I know you are the Patriots running the ball really good on offense, or like how do they keep getting it done on offense? And that's one thing that keeps puzzling me.
Well, their boy's banged up now. So, you know, what's his face? Their rookie.
The quarterback?
No, the running back.
Gotcha.
He's banged up now. I think they're at this Bolden kid who's not so bad either. But, you know, when you start doing that, Cleveland's, they're very physical. Like you said that before. You know, their offense is, you know, our defense, you know, they can be very physical. And you know, it's that whole rookie thing. Like, look how good Justin Herbert was last year, and look how many games he lost.
It's true.
And he was the rookie of the year. So, you can still be good and just not be good enough, but the hoodie is a little bit different, so I'm on the Cleveland side. I hope we're right. Damian Harris, that's right. I'm on the Cleveland side, but going into Foxborough, I guess it used to be a little bit more intimidating when Brady was there. Maybe it's not so as intimidating as it was then.
It's intimidating for me.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, because the whole thing is they get really bad weather in Foxborough.
Yeah. I mean, it's not there yet, I don't think, but come this time, like next month, oof.
I just hate the freezing rain there, and that changes
cold.
Games. I'd rather have it be in snow. And let's get to the game, because people were asking me, someone on Instagram wanted me to get you on today for the Saints game. I mean, this is one of the most interesting games. What's it? Saints +3 right now at Titans.
Yep. And my rule. Saints as a dog, not as a favorite. So, and it's worked out every time this year. I will tell you, I know it's scary. I'm sure. I mean, Kamara's not playing. But there's a reason they brought back Mark Ingram. Our running game is not a problem. There's no Derrick Henry. Here's the thing. I said it earlier in the chat. Ryan Tannehill has been sacked 27 times. He is the most sacked quarterback in the NFL aside from Justin Fields. He's the only one that's been sacked more than him. This Saints defense can get after any quarterback. What do you think they're going to do to Ryan Tannehill when the pressure is on him, because there is no Derrick Henry? Now, last week, what's that?
That stat is a little bit mind-blowing, because Henry's only missed a week. And normally when you're running it and have run-pass balance, your quarterback doesn't take that many hits. Go on.
And last week, the Tennessee defense did a lot of damage to Stafford. I think, part of that was Stafford beating up himself, just, whatever the case may be. They just weren't prepared. They were not as prepared for the game, just like Baltimore wasn't last night. So I don't want that game to be an overreaction. And I'm not the biggest homer. I tell you that all the time. I was not on the Saints last week against Atlanta. 6 points in a divisional game. Nuts? No. You know what I mean? I was not on them last week. But this week, when you're putting the Saints as an underdog, when you're putting Sean Payton as an underdog, let's just start with that. I don't care who the quarterback is. I don't care who the running back is. You'll see.
I'm really concerned about the quarterback situation. Is Taysom Hill going to just take this over, or are they going left ahead and Simeon again?
Listen, if they were going to go for somebody, I feel like you'd have known by now. If Peyton wasn't, it's a damn shame in what happened with Jameis. Because he really had this year under control. And it's a damn shame. I hope, I was one of his doubters. I'll be honest with you. I was one of his doubters at the beginning of the year. But I was also not, I'm not a doubter of Sean Payton. I told you, he's a genius. You know what I mean? There's only a few people in that category, in that coaching category, you can put with Sean Payton. Maybe Shanahan, the hoodie, a couple of those guys. But I just don't think Tannehill is going to be able to get away from Demario Davis, get away from Cam Jordan. He's just not. He's going to be running for his life. And God bless Adrian Peterson. God bless him. But I mean, you know what I mean?
I'm still happy he's still getting a check.
Me too. That's I
came out of nowhere to get that job, and I'm happy for him because I didn't even see it coming. So
listen, Baltimore's got Le'Veon Bell, Devontae Freeman. I don't know who else from our previous years, and they're just kind of hanging around with garbage time. Adrian Peterson just comes out of nowhere and scores his first week, on the goal line, which is great. Like I said, God bless the man. But the Saints they are top 5. They are not easy for anybody to, and I just don't, and I think that there's a lot of overreaction on this Tennessee win against the Rams. I just think there's a lot of.
think the Saints have the best defense in the league. I don't like one thing that really bothers me. Like, I feel like a defense, you need to watch them to know who's the best in the league, because the Saints defense, they don't get.
I think we lost your audio. Did we? I don't know.
I'm back.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, there we go. Okay.
All right, I'm going to go with the poor mic. All right.
I thought it was me.
Here's my main question, and here's what everyone needs to know. I don't think Simeon is good enough to play quarterback in this league. Seen him a ton. I just want to know, is Taysom Hill going to get a lot of snaps, and what's Sean doing with that? Because last week it seemed like it was mostly Simeon, right?
Yeah, so last week was Taysom's first week back from his concussion protocol, which had him out for a good, I think it was 3, maybe longer, 3 weeks, maybe.
Yeah, it was a good.
It was a good bit. So you don't ever really want to rush somebody back from a concussion. Do I think you're going to see more of Taysom Hill? Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Have I spoken to Sean Payton? No. But I mean, like, in my personal opinion, do I think you're going to see more of Taysom Hill? For sure.
Well, and I'm going to ask you a question about something random now, because you like math and stats a little bit more than me. But so let me throw this one at you. So right now it's Buffalo -12. And I hate these ones at the New York
double
Jets.
digits.
I hate ones like this. But I'm actually thinking Buffalo might cover this. Is that
yeah.
crazy?
No, I mean, they're going to be angry. They got beat up by the Jags. They're going to be angry. I'm all in on Buffalo -12. I'm all in on it. And actually,
is it your money pick?
I mean, my money pick, I'll be honest with you, is actually the Rams.
Go on. Yeah, let's just flow into it.
I mean, my money pick is on the Rams. But again, kind of the same reason, embarrassed, and I just think that they're going to have a statement to prove, just like Buffalo will. But my money pick is the Rams. And I think, and I did dig up a little bit if you really want to know.
Yeah, go on.
So, I mean, I guess, what is it? See, if you were at home, let me see. If you're on a road if you're on the road off a loss, some 83% of the time, you cover, and that,
makes sense. People are very reactive.
Yeah. And I mean, there's several teams that applies to, but I think the Rams are going to have, now I think Von Miller might get into this game because he wasn't there last week, but I think maybe you might see some Von Miller this week. I think that, they usually play each other close, but 4 points, I'm kind of on like where they could probably win by a touchdown.
I'm nervous about San Fran. And after that game last week, after losing to Colt McCoy, you just got to stay away from them. And maybe it might be time. I mean, we got lucky. We even hit them against the Bears and Eagles this year. We got really lucky even with that. Like, I felt like those were good picks. Mm-hmm. But after watching them last week, I'm like, damn, maybe we were a little bit lucky with San Fran.
I like the Eagles this week too, actually.
I love them. It's tough to pull the trigger on them, especially in Mile High. It's just Teddy's going to go back, man.
They're starting to use the run game, I mean, they are.
Finally, in week 5 we got on here, and it just was, they ran about like 4 times against the Cowboys. It's just pathetic.
Right. And then the next week they went to Carolina and beat them up. So, I mean, I'm on, the Eagles this week. I'm on KC. I think you are too, right? I'm on Detroit plus the points, not for a win, but I like the points a lot, actually. And I know that the bye doesn't really matter, but here's another factor. We talked about this before. So Detroit has had 14 days to prepare for this. Pittsburgh just played Monday. So they've had 6. Like, let's, you know what I mean?
I think we're in like a Novo era NFL though, because the bye week get better, but these teams, like we can go through the teams on a bye week this year, but it's just something I'm noticing. They actually are coming up worse after the bye.
They are. And well, I mean, but the thing is that like I'm talking, 14 days versus 6, not even a full week. That's, I mean, that's tough, and I'll tell you, like Tampa's going to have to throw, and all their weapons are injured. All of them. I mean, except for Mike Evans. Godwin's banged up. Gronk is banged up. We already know Brown is out. So, and here's what I put in the chat earlier. How long before we see Julian Edelman? Watch. Watch. Watch.
And here's the thing. I don't want to even touch that Tampa Bay game because eventually Washington's defensive line is going to show up.
And let's remember, they played each other last year, and it was Taylor Heineke, and it was in Washington, and it was their playoff game, and they did get knocked out by Tampa, and Heineke did not play bad. So there's some teams that can get to Tampa. The Saints are one of them. Washington played them good. Now, it's not all the same people, but right now Tampa's banged up right now. They are very banged up right now. So I wouldn't take them as a favorite this week at all.
No. That's good advice because I know the hesitancy. People are going to get excited and think Tampa Bay off a bye week is just going to blow people. But anyways, they're on like a different thing because honestly, they're at the point where they're peaking. And then about the Chiefs, can we get to the Chiefs?
Oh, the poor Chiefs. Yeah.
Yeah, and this Chiefs Raiders game might be the most interesting of the weekend.
I agree.
Is there anything you're expecting out of the Chiefs, or are we just
I mean, in previous years when the Chiefs were the most dominating force in the NFL, the only team to really figure them out was the Raiders. So do I feel like it could be the opposite now? Like, or do I feel like it's just going to be that case again? I like the Chiefs because when you start to get into this part of the season and you start losing certain games, it will end you. Like, it will end your season.
Either mentally or it's just mathematically. I think
mathematically.
Now, with how many teams get in the playoffs and how bad the AFC is, no team in the AFC should be panicking right now. But also, I do like that the Chiefs come in here with a little bit of desperation, although...
Yes. Like, last night, Baltimore loses, their season's not over. Miami loses last night, their season's over.
Yeah.
So... you got to look at like certain, what is this, week 10, right? Week 10. So, yeah, I think we're in week 10. So, week
10.
So at this point in time, you can't lose, especially divisional. You can't lose those games that you're supposed to win because it will end, it'll end you.
Especially and more so in the NFC, like how competitive things are going to be. Well, because think about it, because in the NFC, you got 4 or 5 teams playing pretty good football right now. Listen, I know every team's playing really sloppy right now, but NFC's got 4 or 5 good teams. I don't even know if there is a legit threat in the AFC I can even put out above everyone else. People would just default to Bills, right? But
and what you don't want to happen is what happened in the NFC East last year, where you're depending on a team to lose for you to get in, and then the coach doesn't even play the starter the whole time just to stick it to the Giants or whatever. But it's the Giants' own fault. Win more than 6 games, and you'll get in. Like, I mean,
remember when they were crying? It was just
theoretically last year, I might have said this before. In the NFC East, you could have hosted a home playoff game and still had a top 5 draft pick.
It's crazy.
Like, so you don't want to happen what happened in the NFC East, where you're dependent on, oh my gosh, I really need the Jets to pull off this upset and beat the Rams so that we make it in. Like, you know what I mean? Like on week 18 or whatever it is. Like, you know what I mean? So you need to win these games, these divisional games. The Chiefs are being right now that they're kind of like on the outside looking in a little bit, especially for first place, you know? So they're at that point, I think that they're going to come out, you know, and they're going to win this game.
Yeah. And any last words, Lauren? Any other games you're looking for this weekend?
I mean, what didn't we talk about? I think we talked about all of them, didn't we?
And I don't think I'm getting Mike on, but I was. I'm pretty
my
sure
BFF.
I think he's pretty happy he got Cam Newton.
I mean, Shamil Shamazel.
But I think Cam Newton's good. He's not going to obviously play this week, but I think it's something.
Who is that? PJ Walker? Is it that Walker kid?
Yeah.
Is that?
I think so. Like Darnold. Now they're like saying an injury, but like Darnold did this with the Jets too. When he started playing really bad, there was an injury in his arm, and then it just went on like this.
Who's Carolina playing this week? They're playing
Arizona, +10 on the road.
Is Kyler playing?
I believe he will be, but I mean, no one's really given too many updates about that game. They've just kind of forgotten about it. That's why I wanted to get him on.
Gotcha. I think that, you know, I don't like laying 10 points ever, but you know, I know McCaffrey's back, so that's going to help. But I think at this point in time with McCaffrey, you know, I think that he's probably trying to save the season, because let's be honest, McCaffrey's healthy. Their quarterback situation's trash. You know, they won the first 2 games of the year and oh my God, Carolina's going to win the division. Right. Okay. So now I don't think they've won a game since, I don't know, Reagan was president. And you know, in like a month, they haven't won a game in like over a month. Atlanta is higher than them on the, you know,
on the ranking.
It's Tampa, Saints, Carolina, or no, Tampa, Saints, Atlanta, Carolina. Carolina's got a lot of work to do. So if he's bringing in Cam, you know, somebody that knows obviously the playbook, that knows the system, you know, but they also got rid of Cam. So I mean,
I'm just happy to see him get back in, because I don't like seeing really poor quarterback play.
No, and you know, honestly, New England was not a good fit for him. First of all, the North is just not a good fit for him. You know, and he needs to be in the dirty South somewhere. That's the kind of guy he is.
I think he likes it better. And plus with New England, I was one of the few people, I felt like the New England Cam Newton version was actually underrated last year. But it depends, because people expect a lot in New England, no matter who's.
Yeah, it's kind of like the Yankees. Like, they're a strict organization. You have an image to show, and you're not allowed to do certain things. You can't, you know what I mean? You can't wear them stupid bonnets that he wears and looks like my grandmother coming, you know, getting ready for bed. It's just, I mean, is he having an identity crisis? What's up with him? Like, so that type of quarterback does not belong in. No, they got who they need there. They have this rookie Mac Jones. He fits the profile. He's got the clean cut image of the can't do any wrong boy next door, very Brady like. That's what belongs in New England because that's what they, you know, portray.
I really wanted to see Cam Newton get this full off season and go with New England this year. I wanted it, so at least I do get at least a little compromise. So I'll take it. Yeah. And I think, and like in this NFC, okay, it's not like the AFC completely wide open, but like you stated, when you look at these divisions, okay, 3 wild card spots, man, it's wide open.
Yeah, and look at, and even theoretically, I think they're not thinking that they're out yet, so, and they got a lot of work to do, but Russell only being out 3 weeks, that's huge because clearly their backup was not doing it. So, Russell only being out 3 weeks, I mean, they still got 8 more weeks to try to figure things out. Could they do it? Yeah. I mean, at least, who knows, but OBJ's now in the Rams. All that's going to do is ruin my stock for my fantasy because I have, Cup in one and Woods in the other. So there goes some targets. But,
I don't think it's going to work out that way. I think here's what I think. First off, the Rams, they want to run the ball a lot. They like to use lots of 2 tight end, 2 receivers. I don't think Sean McVay is going to start going like run and shoot, Cliff Kingsbury type stuff. Also, Cooper Kupp and Robert Woods, they're just really reliable. I don't know if I would take their route running out of the game. And then Cooper Kupp, I don't like stats, but there's a crazy stat. Like, doesn't he get thrown the ball like 34% of the time on Rams pass plays? That's crazy for a
doesn't team. Doesn't he remind you of Edelman?
Yeah, he does. But I think Cooper Kupp is better. And I think it's more explosive.
And even Tyler Higbee is still a great throwing pass option in that.
Because he's so fast and he's big. People forget how athletic Higbee is. And then Von Jefferson, he's had a good year,
gosh. And he's like a little flash. He's like a lightning bolt.
Yeah, and I just like how he catches balls over the middle. And then I'm looking at OBJ, and I'm just wondering, how are they going to even work him into the game? Of course, he's going to get touches. He's going to take a little food out of your mouth, but I don't think too much.
Maybe a decoy. Everyone was talking about the Saints going after him because there's no Michael Thomas and this, that, and the other. Let's be honest, we haven't had Michael Thomas all year. We haven't had him for one game. He has not been here for the first 9 games of the season, 8 if you count the bye. So somehow the Saints have still got a 5-3 record. They've had no Michael Thomas. So, does it mean that they're gonna win it all? I mean, not likely, but fair enough. They've got playmakers.
With Jameis, there was some dark horse. Potential with how good the defense is playing, but it's over. I think Carolina's team to beat. I want to get Mike on. I want to.
Oh, good. I think someone just said he's in the chat and he wants to come on. So I am going to definitely be listening through my speakers on my way to poker. So that's my friend tonight. That's my Friday night. My Friday night jam is my poker tournament that I play every Friday. I know the last.
Is it like a $10 buy-in or is it like a $20 buy-in?
Am I 5 years old?
No. How much are you buying in?
This is okay. So it's a tournament. So it's actually a $45 buy-in. There's 3 tables, and you have unlimited rebuys for the first hour, and then there's also a $20 add-on at the break.
For the degenerate gamblers, the buybacks.
Now I can't tell you if I've ever played a $10 buy-in tournament. I can't tell you ever, but this is actually a little more on the lower end. So, but it's a group that I play with often, and it's an actual, like a 12-week league. So we're just playing for fun right now. We don't start the league up till January, till after the holidays. So this is just going to be some fun games between, for now and the next couple of months. But I am anxious to see what Mike says about Cam and his boy being back, if he still thinks they're going to go to the Super Bowl and win it this year.
Oh, my God.
We can get people on at the same time.
How did that? Oh, my gosh. Way to throw it wrench right at me. What's up, Mike?
I wasn't ready.
I didn't even know he sent you the invite yet.
Yeah, I've had it for like 10 minutes. I just saw it. I thought I was going to wait on it. But yeah, I hear you talking crap. I'm sitting here in the stream, listening to the chat, eating food, and just going off my Panthers, man. It's okay. We remember 26-7. talking about my quarterbacks while y'all are rolling out Taysom Hill and Trevor Siemian.
Hey, wait, we've got the winning record.
For now.
Okay, here we go.
Yeah,
We do got we got to play you guys one more time, like, right?
Oh yeah, yeah, it's gonna happen.
And it's going to be in the dome.
Disastrous by that point, but you know.
We're by that time our kicker is going to be our quarterback. So we'll see what happens.
Probably.
No, you might see Ian Book, and I don't know if we're ever going to get our kicker back, but at least we found one in the interim.
That's going to be such a disaster. That game's going to be like 3-0 at halftime, probably. But it's going to be like 0-0 going in the fourth.
Look at John's face right now. He's like ready to get his popcorn. He's like, let me just get my popcorn.
And I'm so excited for the division now that the Panthers got Cam Newton. It's probably about 4 or 5 weeks overdue, though. But.
Yes.
I said that's where he belongs, Mike. I said he belongs in the dirty South.
Yeah, he does. I mean, that's really like, when you think Cam Newton, you think Carolina. No one ever really thought – it's hard to think of him like anywhere else, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. So I'm just glad that he was willing to come back and actually and that the Panthers were willing to swallow their pride to get him, because I didn't think they were going to do it. Even when it was reported that Cam was coming to Charlotte for a visit, I thought he was just coming to stick it to us. I cannot believe this. Because I wouldn't blame him.
And plus Tepper likes his not trying to get into the Aaron Rodgers talk, but Tepper really does like his vax. So I know Cam Newton didn't take that. So you know how that goes.
And Cam's going to put butts in seats too. I don't know if you've seen the last couple Panthers games, but we've been getting out-fanned. And not that I blame our fans. Yeah, Bank of America. It was pretty good against you guys. I'll say that, but I think that's just the Panthers-Saints rivalry. But
yeah, probably divisional.
Yeah, but against the Patriots, against the Vikings, we got completely out-fanned in our own stadium. And I don't blame them, because these games have been terrible. They're unwatchable.
Remember when the Panthers were actually good? That stadium actually used to look lively. Now when you turn on the Panthers game, it's 1:00 on a Sunday, 70 degrees, full sun. It looks dark. It looks gloomy. There's no party in there. It's just people sitting like this.
You see all the blue empty seats.
Yes.
Well,
I don't blame them. It's sad though. How could you want to go to a Panthers game right now when you've scored one touchdown the last 3 weeks? So it's unwatchable. I have to mentally tell myself not to turn off the game in third quarters. It's that bad.
That whole Sam Darnold coming there, and everyone thought, oh my God, he's going to be the saving grace and this, that, and the other. And I just was sitting here thinking, I mean, really? It's not like you're getting, Joe Montana to come back. I'm like, what are we doing right now?
That's why I don't do videos in the off season, because every piece of news is positive and some things aren't going to work out.
And sometimes giving up a draft pick like that, whatever they gave up. I mean, I don't know, and honestly, are the Jets even better off than they were? No. They're not any better off either.
Here's the thing, though. I've been telling Lawson this for weeks. I've been saying the biggest problem with the Panthers' offense is more on Joe Brady. And you'll be happy to hear that, because he's still there. If you look at some of the route combinations that we've been running, I saw one of the picks that J.C. Jackson had on Darnold this past week. J.C. Horn was breaking on DJ Moore's route before DJ did. So that just goes to show you, defenders know what's coming. These route combinations are so predictable. It feels like this offense is out of Madden, and we only have 15 plays that we really like. And then once we get past that, we're just kind of done.
I drafted DJ Moore pretty high in my fantasy. And aside from weeks 1 and 2, I literally am so furious with him. And it's not his fault. He's open,
He's also getting triple teamed.
Yeah. Okay. Can I get it in here? Okay. When Sam Darnold throws every single pass under 3 yards, and listen, a quarterback rolling to the right should be the most dangerous thing in this league in terms of big plays.
I close my eyes.
To the right, and he thinks he's Mike Vick. he probably tucks it more than Mike Vitz if we wanted to go like stats. And so that's frustrating. And then Robbie Anderson is really frustrating. But I'm telling you, you're going to see a difference in this playbook, man. You're going to see a difference. This offense is going to get cooking. They're going to get a little bit of leadership. They're going to get a little bit of verb. Obviously, they need more creativity. But I'm telling you, Joe Brady has creativity. The creativity will be there. But I understand what you're saying. Joe Brady also can't clench up as well. It's just because Sam Darnold clenches up.
Yeah, I agree. Like, we better see something different because, like,
McCaffrey's going to help. I mean,
yes,
he played a little bit last week, like, you know, a little bit. Obviously, they're not going to make that mistake again by throwing him back into the trenches, right? As Lawson likes to say, I'm digging the trenches. Yeah. They're not going to throw him back into the trenches, like, and bang that poor kid up. I mean, he's the best wide receiver in NFL now.
The best thing we did last week against the Patriots was not run McCaffrey into the ground. That was the best thing we did on offense. Like, we only gave him like 50% of snaps. It was great.
Because if any team is going to bang you up again, it's going to be that one. Them and the Rams.
Mm-hmm. That's who it's going to be. The Cardinals this week, they're probably going to mess them up. But
Mike, I got a question to you. So what's the prognosis on when Cam's going to play? Obviously, they shouldn't play him this week, but they're getting him in the next Sunday, right?
Yeah, so they're actually saying that they might have specific packages for him this week, which I think is crazy considering we just signed him on a Thursday.
Is he eligible?
But
doesn't he have to go?
He's going to Arizona, so we'll see. But he's definitely like you'll love this. He's definitely expected to start next week in Charlotte versus Washington. So we're gonna have the whole Panthers 2015 family reunion next week. With Ron Rivera coming back, so that should be fun.
Oh boy, that's right, because he hasn't played with this coach.
Yeah,
right. He hasn't played with
Rule.
No, with Matt Rule. Okay.
Yeah, and Carolina plus 10. Make sure just so everyone knows to stay away from that.
I thought you were going to.
I know they're going to get tempted. All right, yeah, go on. You might as well just get into that game. So since we do Carolina every week,
it's just the thing. Well, I'm not. If Kyler Murray and D-Hop both play, then I think you have to jump on it. But my thing is, like, if the Panthers, if they both play and the Panthers offense comes out and only puts up like 6 points again, because that's what we've been seeing like for the last few weeks, then it should be pretty easy for Arizona to get this game.
I really like the under, Mike. Let me.
I do too.
Let me see what it is. 1 second. The over under is 44.
44.
Okay. That's low. Excuse me, geez. That's low. That's the diet soda. That's low, okay, in this league, especially with Kyler Murray. But I'm telling you, I don't know if the Panthers get over like 10, 13 points, even if Walker comes out and plays good.
Well, are we sure Kyler's playing? We're sure Kyler's playing.
He's questionable, is what the official report says, and I don't think he didn't practice 2 days this week. So, and honestly, if you're the Cardinals, like, okay, the best part of the Panthers is their defense in that front seven. And you know they're going to do nothing on offense. You shouldn't need Kyler Murray to beat us. And Colt McCoy actually played decent last week. If I'm Arizona, I am not starting Kyler Murray.
Well, if Colt McCoy starts, you have to pound Panthers plus 10 if you're betting.
I don't know. No. He played pretty good last week against the 49ers.
And Trevor Siemian played amazing against Tampa. But look what happened the following week.
Eventually, those guys, they show like who they are, and they are what they are at the end of the day. And they're
backups.
That's the problem.
I understand that, but the Panthers could still, like, PJ Walker could still. I mean, okay, PJ Walker's thing is like he actually has a good arm, but he has no. He's got a little Jameis in him, you know. He's willing to turn the ball over at any point. So like the Cardinals could only score like 17 points. But the Panthers will still find a way to put up like 6, and then PJ Walker will certainly give them opportunities. So,
well, does the kid at least play with gusto? Like, that's the problem with Sam Darnold. Yeah. Eventually, you got to throw it over 30 yards sometime.
Yes, he does not. He has no concept of the check down. I'm actually looking forward to it because we'll actually be like entertained this week, and the game won't be boring because these last couple of weeks it's just been like check downs and, you know, going for 5 yards of play, and it's pathetic. So
if something happens to him, knock on wood, who's the next one?
Because Matt Barkley.
Barkley's
Oh,
probably better than Sam Darnold. You want to know what?
okay.
If you had to put my life on the line and you gave me the Panthers with Matt Barkley or Sam Darnold, I would
we're
probably
done.
move towards Matt Barkley because Matt Barkley's film with Buffalo was better than anything Sam Darnold's put on. But I don't know. I wouldn't want to be in that situation.
That was a while ago, though.
Listen, I'm ready. I am ready to see Ian Book. Okay, like I am ready.
I'm surprised y'all haven't like thrown him in there yet.
I mean, I think if we didn't have Taysom, we probably, like I was telling him earlier, you're probably going to see more of Taysom now that he's out of. At least I hope.
Well,
but Saints loves him.
Saints.
You can go ahead, Lawson.
Right.
I was just going to say Sean Payton loves him some Taysom Hill. So.
But if we don't, we better see Ian Book. What were you saying, Lawson?
Look at Taysom Hill's contract whenever you get it.
Isn't it great?
Honestly, that is like kind of. But Taysom Hill, he has to be the guy though. Like that's why I was asking you when we're talking about the Saints, because we know Taysom Hill when he throws deep balls, like he throws like line drives, it's ugly, but he probably gives them a better chance to win.
He's like a truck. He's like a bulldozer. The thing about it is, though, if you've got Kamara in fantasy, he ruins everything for you. Okay? Because he's the goal line thief.
Yeah, Kamara,
Really? Like, if you've got Kamara and now you got Taysom Hill coming in as quarterback, kiss it goodbye.
Well, I remember last year on Christmas when Kamara had that like huge 6 touchdown game, and I think it was either 6. Yeah, it was like 6 or 5, and if he got another touchdown, he was going to hit a record. And Sean Payton calls a Taysom Hill run. That killed me. That was the funniest thing I've ever seen. You had the opportunity to make this dude an NFL all-time great, and he decides to run Taysom Hill in the middle.
Literally, though, at some point in time, those touchdowns literally ruined. One of my very best friends said that Sean Payton ruined his Christmas with Alvin Kamara, because the Christmas week was the fantasy championship. So if you played against Alvin Kamara, I mean, you were done before the day started. Before Sunday came.
Well, yeah, but anyways, about winning games, I'm saying you're going to see something. Cam Newton is going to really help the Panthers running game.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm looking forward to seeing, and he was really good running the ball with New England. He does a different type of running than other people, Mike. That's why I'm excited. I just think the offense is going to be a lot better, and then these playoff spots are wide open. So I saw some people saying, "Why is Carolina doing it?" You should try to make the playoffs.
And he's not an interception thrower at all. He's way more accurate than most of these guys that are out there right now.
I'm pretty sure half his career interceptions have come off drops. The main thing for me that makes me happy about this signing, if you're on the Panthers and you're one of those players, you have to feel so much better seeing Cam Newton pull up, over Sam Darnold or PJ Walker. Like that's a huge psychological boost for your team.
That's where we're at right now. So, Sam Darnold and PJ Walker.
Yeah. Mike, I want to get your opinion on one game. So last week, the Falcons won. We were on that pretty hard. What do you think about the Falcons at Dallas? Because that's one game we haven't talked about today at all.
I want to know how Dak's doing. Because I didn't think he looked right last week against the Broncos. He was overthrowing people left and right. He had one of his worst games in a long time. So if he's not back, I think Matt Ryan, he is bad. Well, I wouldn't even say he's bad, but he's been pretty decent this year for the most part. So, and if he can just keep it clean versus that defense, I think the Falcons can at least cover the spread. It's 8 right now, right? It's a lot.
Yeah, it's more than 9.5.
9.5.
It's 9.5. Yeah, I think the Falcons can do that. If Dak is healthy and they can run the ball and pass it with efficiency, then I could see them running away with it, because they could easily go on 3 or 4 straight touchdown drives against that Falcons defense.
I agree. That's why I'm worried about. I want people to stay away from it.
The problem is Atlanta doesn't have a run game.
It is an
So
issue.
that's a big problem when you're going to be playing from behind.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
Well, and
So
one thing I am liking out of Atlanta though is how they're using Cordero Patterson. That has
yeah,
been
but he's very Alvin Kamara like with the catching. You know what I mean? Like he's definitely going for the long balls. He's catching. He doesn't look like a running back. He's a damn wide receiver. Like, let's really be honest. Like, have you actually seen him take a ball from the quarterback and bulldoze it down the field? No.
He kind of takes it and he goes straight to the sideline, but it's actually working because they haven't had an athletic running back there like 5 years.
Or he's catching it from 50 yards away.
Yeah, exactly. Anyways, anyone got any last words on this weekend? I gotta get in some pizza. So
I appreciate it. I thank you for having me. Go Saints. Bet them as dogs, not as favorites. Remember I said that?
Yeah, Mike. Anyways, before we go, what's your opinion on that Saints-Titans game?
Yeah, what's your opinion, Mike?
Okay, here's the thing. Like, in my opinion, I love Sean Payton.
Oh, sure you do.
Sean Payton. No, Lawson, like I've always had a great respect for Sean Payton. I mean, as a person, I hate the man, but I like him as a coach.
Yeah, for sure.
But the thing is, the Saints are just so depleted of offensive talent right now that I don't even know if they're competent enough to, score enough points to beat the Titans. And Tennessee, like I know you aren't on them, Lawson, but they've been playing really well lately, and they've been beating a lot of good teams. Mike Vrabel's actually done a solid job with them. So I think
the Titans are going to beat the Saints, man. Because I want to see how much Taysom Hill gets playing time because they need to go that route if they're going to win. That's why I kept focusing on that because I want more information about Taysom Hill and how much he's going to be playing.
Let's make sure all three of us are back here next week at this time.
Oh yeah, we'll come back. And honestly, it's not. It's a game open for debate.
I love it. Because I love it. I love it.
I think whichever defense spends more time on the field is going to lose. That's my analysis of it.
Yeah, and it could be who has the ball last. You know what I mean? It could be like who has the ball last. But, I'll be honest with you. I think that, I don't like the hype overreaction on Tennessee. I don't care who they're playing this week. They could be playing anybody, other than the Saints. But that overreaction sometimes gets the public a little too much,
And what did you guys think about my opinion on that Detroit-Pittsburgh game? I feel like people are looking for an upset now. And you can find reasons for any team to win any game on any given Sunday in the NFL. That's just how this league is. It's close, and that's why it's really fun. But I'm just saying, am I the only one kind of getting surprised by people searching for Detroit here?
They're going to win eventually.
I don't even know about that, but people like Detroit because they've been fighting. Like they fought in a lot of games early on. My take on this game is I think this is a big if, but if the Lions can stop the run, I think they can keep this game really close. But I don't think they're going to stop the run. So
that's where I'm at. That's
do you know
so bad against Philly.
Do you know that Big Ben only averages like 6 point something yards per throw?
Yeah. Bad.
So they're really not great. Okay.
No, they're not.
No, but here's the thing. You give Big Ben that run game. I didn't think they would have a run game this year. And also, they have to get it out of his hands because they can't block anyone. And then also, I'm looking at their receiving core. It's looking like Patriots-esque at a certain point. Like, even if you put in a healthy Juju Smith-Schuster, I actually think it's really overrated overall, his pieces. So, yeah, like, I get what you're saying about Big Ben, but, I do feel like some people are taking some cheap shots against him.
I agree. And I think that there's so many, they have so many weapons. Even losing Juju didn't even affect their wide receiver core at all. And like you said, they do finally have a run game. So Ben doesn't have to be great, but at some point in time, your quarterback has to be great.
Yeah, that's the big thing about the Steelers.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised to see them somehow find a way to navigate into the playoffs. I don't know how they're going to do it, but I would not be shocked. And that's
they got the tiebreaker against Buffalo right now.
So. Well, I mean, the thing in the AFC, like, is there's no one like alpha male, but there's a bunch of mediocre teams. But meanwhile, in the NFC, you have like 5 really good teams who I all consider to be Super Bowl contenders. And then you have teams like my Panthers and Lawson's Vikings who probably don't deserve to make the playoffs. But I think we can both agree that one of them is going to, just because the NFC is so bad.
Do you think the Minnesota's going to cover this week?
Against the Chargers?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they will.
No?
Yeah, I'm not. It's just Zimmer's been so bad this year. Like, I've watched a good amount of Vikings games this year, and he has been horrible. Oh, like against the no, and I'm not.
I love to hate him.
Agrees with me, I think, on this. You want fire too. Like against the Panthers, like he straight up kept us in that game. He could have put that thing away like long before the fourth quarter, but he let Darnold hang around, and as a result, we converted like 2 4th downs and tied the game up to send into overtime. Like, honestly, as much as we've hated on Kirk Cousins over the years, he's really saving Zimmer's job right now, because they could have easily lost to the Lions. They could have easily lost. Well, they did lose to the Cardinals. They could have, if we had gotten the ball first in overtime, might have lost to us. Like, it's just, I don't like Zimmer at all, and I just think they're going to find a way to lose. The Chargers are a good team, and I just don't see how Minnesota's going to compete with them. And Staley's been I can't say his name.
Brandon Staley.
Yeah, he's been so good for the Chargers lately. Like, I love what that man is doing. He doesn't care where you're on the field. You know, if he wants a touchdown and it's 4th down, he's going to go for it. And I love that in a coach. So I feel like if this game's close in the fourth quarter, I can trust him a lot more than I can trust Zimmer. And that's why I'm picking the Chargers to win.
I can agree with that too. I think the Dalvin Cook factor might get loose.
That is true. That scares me about this.
And that's
because Chargers are the worst run
against the run. That's why I feel like
that's what the stats say, but also I'm trying to think of a team that is worse than them. Like, for instance, I think Denver's stopping the run, but yeah, I definitely think they're going to get ran on. So,
well, it's been fun, y'all, but I got to bounce. You know where I got to go. So
all right, yeah, I'm gonna
I enjoyed
for the while. Lauren, thank you for coming on. I really appreciate it.
I appreciate it. Mike, I can't wait to talk to you next week.
Yeah,
Lawson, I know. Everybody have a good Sunday. Everybody make money. Everybody, I hope you guys all got your good bets in, and I'll talk with you guys soon.
All right, see ya. Okay, so my bad. Okay, so there we go. Yeah, but man, I gotta just say though, with the Panthers going forward, at least there's a reason to watch. Like, that's what I'm just looking for.
Yeah, like it's gonna be they're gonna put butts in seats again, which is really just what I want. Like, if I gotta watch the Panthers suck, I at least want to be entertained, you know? Yeah,
man. And any other games you were feeling this week?
I think I'm with you on Packers Seahawks. I think that's gonna be a blowout. Just because I think Russ is going to be rusty, and I feel like Aaron Rodgers is going to be a man on mission this week. And y'all were talking about this game earlier, but I think Denver is going to beat Philly pretty easily, because Philly's been showing like adjustments on offensive coaching, but they haven't really shown that on defense. Against the Chargers last week, they allowed so many completions underneath, and we all know what. That's what we're gonna see again.
Yeah, man, and like,
did I get knocked out?
No, we're good. I heard you. It just came through.
Wait, hold on. I think you muted Lawson.
Oh, got you. One sec. Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, I can't hear you is the thing.
Oh, got you. One sec. Okay. Can you hear me? Mic check.
No, I don't hear you still.
Got you.
Hold up. Let me go on YouTube and see if it's me or you.
Michael Thomas all year. We haven't had him for one game.
Denver does have COVID. That's a good point. Lawson, talk. Talk.